it's 5 days a week for a month. So, but you only have to do 15 minutes so you can do it. Whereas, but at the end of it, you get on the app, you get a tick that you've done in your 5 days. So then you can see how you're progressing as well.
How was your Land's End to John O'Groats thing?
Did you do it?
Yeah, did it. Did it about a month. Did it finish the marathon? How far?
So
873 miles. It's good.
Yeah. Ken's just
enjoyed
ready to do it.
You had a year to do it.
Yeah. 12 end of November, yeah, basically. It finished on Saturday. So a year of Saturday. Nice one. It was good.
Did you actually feel like you'd done something though, or was it just every day, just recording, going to shops?
No, definitely. I did every walk. You want to say every walk? I mean, within reason, like a 2-3 mile walk plus.
So if you walk with a dog for a couple of miles, is that do you record it?
Yes.
Did you count it all on your
Strava?
Strava.
There's some Strava friends. I've got loads of Strava friends.
I don't know if I'm your friend on Strava or not.
I think you are.
I don't
think you are. It's a cycling thing. I'm jealous of people who can cycle. Can't cycle.
Does nothing for me.
It's biking.
Yeah.
Especially in this weather.
We've had discussion before,
it's slippy, you'll fall off. I bet you don't go out in this weather, do you?
No. I think it's more of a summer thing, isn't it?
Well, in this weather, I've got a table trainer, so you're doing it indoors. So you're doing
it in your garage?
Yeah, so your bike is on a machine, and you've just got your iPad, so you can actually
like a Peloton thing.
Pointless. Yeah. Like a homemade Peloton.
Anyway, so then
pointless.
Let's get back to the reason why we're here today. So, welcome everybody. This is tomorrow's workplace today, after hours, and here we are in Willoughby Club, and this is our debut. So forgive us if we're not very good at this, but we're here today to talk about the business and also print in general, and maybe put a little bit more on the digital. My name's Lee. I'm one of the directors of IT Spectrum. I've been in the business now for just shy of 20 years. And I've grown with the sales organisation the way we've gone from our print business into digital in the last 15, 16 years. And to my left, we've got Graham.
Yeah, I'm Graham. I've been with the business for 27 years, run the sales team with Lee. Tend to look after more of our larger clients, our corporate stuff. So I'll tell you some of the bit of the nuances around how they operate, how they like to operate. Across the way, we've got Aaron, who I gave most of my customers to back in the day, didn't I?
Yeah, I seem to benefit. I've been with Spectrum 10 years now. So I generally do day-to-day account management and look after 200 plus customers, but also do new business, work alongside Adrian as well.
Is that my
pass on to Adrian?
So I'm Adrian, yeah, so I've been with Spectrum for 28 years.
But are you not your 30th? Yeah.
Well, I might be, but I don't think
sales is anything you were good at, wasn't it?
That was great. I started in the year, I was brilliant. It was amazing.
You were a failed engineer.
It was good
you were a
out.
failed sales helper.
Best you became.
Honestly.
Best move you've ever made, isn't it?
I'm still here, aren't I? So I must have been doing something right.
Best move you've ever made.
Thanks. But yeah, and I look after a number of accounts, probably 100 odd customers, and I look after the campus as well. So that's my bit.
So then, boys, what do we think about print in general?
I think it's categorically not dead.
What do we say that?
Yeah, we had the conversation.
Evidence, when COVID kicked in, we were worried, concerned that people wouldn't come back to the office workspace, and even when they didn't, people are still utilising print. They're doing less, but they still need facilities, still need devices, and I've been shocked / pleasantly surprised about how our last year has been.
Yeah, I think it depends on the industry, doesn't it? Some industries have not stopped printing, but have done a lot less, and others have just carried on as almost as normal.
And what trend? Which sectors do you think of?
Well, like schools, for example.
Yeah.
They're always going to print. They're doing the same volume now that they did 2 years ago.
But they did send the kids home.
Yes, but when they sent the kids home, they printed a lot of stuff to send home with the kids.
True.
So it's like, at a point, it's not really changed for them.
Food's been good for us, hasn't it?
What, like sandwiches?
Order sandwiches.
Oh, having some sandwiches.
Yeah. Pete's kindly done this stuff.
Yeah.
I think food's been a saviour for us.
When you say food manufacturing,
Food manufacturing, gone from strength to strength, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's the only thing at the minute.
Because they were never going to go home.
No, they
Joe,
can't.
they could never go into lockdown.
I think there's
when-
more than you think that have done really well though.
When we look at
I don't know any businesses who haven't done very well.
no, and when we look at it, there's certain sectors that we do business with, and when the pandemic hit 2 years ago, you're looking at it and you're thinking, what's going to happen? But a lot, construction, food manufacturing, NHS, all them type of just kept going.
We were worried, weren't we?
And you think to yourself, is it going to drop? Yeah.
And the thing is about it is, it's not been gut either. We've actually been able to physically prove it as well, which has helped us as a business, as a board, make the right decisions and push the business in the right direction as well. But you're right. I also think whether you want to class it as luck or fluke or whatever, us creating our digital business, which we now call it, compared to what we were saying 10, 15 years ago with software, has helped us like you would not believe at all. It's honestly, it's allowed us now to grow that dramatically. So when you say people didn't stop working, it's then allowed them, all the clever ones, to think, right, how exactly can I do this differently?
Yeah. Well, it's changed, hasn't it? So people who were printing stuff are looking at it on screens, but they need to get it onto the screen, don't they? So
Yeah, that hybrid way of working for people at home.
it gives you something else to talk about, doesn't it? So when you're having a conversation with them, you're not just talking about, oh, let's get rid of that old one and put a new one in. It's like, well, actually, let's look at your business and see how we can change your processes to make it
And to be fair, quite a lot of people have just said, do you know what, I don't know what it's going to look like in the future, can I just keep what I've got?
Yeah.
And because our kit's really good, the quality of it's good, it'll last for 8 years plus. People are happy
People
just to
still
extend it.
physically want to print something. I don't care. People, if you're looking at, higher level within the business and saying we're going to try and reduce print, we're trying to go away from print, we're going to use less paper, etc. You've still got members of staff, still certain industries and sectors that still physically want to print something off and have a piece of paper in front of them. Law, solicitors, people like that. You're not getting away
And
from
you can
it.
do both.
Yeah.
You can automate it, but
Yeah.
you're still definitely going to need to print stuff out.
I agree.
I think it's just change is good for anything. If people are if the environment changes, we can react to it, can't we? So
The other thing is as well, with it becoming a central hub, people are scanning left, right, and centre.
That was my next bit.
That's where they're going. We might have done less copies, but they're doing miles more scanning.
Yeah, talk about the technology, the Canon in particular. This is why they've been the market leader for so many years. They thought about this all them years back. So, and I've been educating the sales team for a fair while now, just saying we need to stop talking to organisations and our clients about these devices just sit in the corner and just print. It's how else can that device be used to allow the flow of information throughout the business get to the relevant individuals, whether that's internally or externally.
yeah. Well, everyone we talk to, scanning's a big thing now, isn't it? It just
Still need the hub, don't they?
Okay. And again,
when
when you look at
we
we did, and but when you're looking at machines and speaking to people, they almost come across like what you said before. What we're selling sexy. You just you speak to people and say, well, I mean, a car will get you from A to B, but we all have different cars. A print
Because they look nice.
Yeah,
They look nice, don't they?
Bit
If
hard,
someone's
yeah.
going to have a look at a new car, they're excited to go look at a new car. Who's excited about looking at a copy?
Yeah.
quite like looking at them.
What, the copies?
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
fair, I think they are really good.
Yeah.
But
Really
there's certain, and again going back to the Canon equipment, there's so many other things that they do now other than just print. But you're right with the scanning.
Is it just me though that when you see a movie and they've got a machine in the car, you go,
Oh, of course, yeah, we're all
Or
secretly
they'll
geeks.
check it into hotels.
Yeah.
Got one of those.
Yeah, we're secretly all geeks. And you mentioned there about the that's the difficulty. We have the two difficulties, or two challenges I've had since I've been in the business. Probably the same with the organisations. It's hard to market.
Yeah.
Because the copier, I mean, our Canon business manager taught me this a year or so ago. He says the thing about the copier is it's like a toilet.
like
one's
a
bothered.
toilet.
Sorry, yeah. No one's bothered about it until it breaks.
Correct.
And the other challenge you've actually
To be
got.
fair, I was bothered about that.
Well, was it? Yeah.
I'm bothered about it when it blocks and it's not me.
And the other challenge we've got is the education and getting it across to the people. Because businesses now who haven't got somebody in charge of their digital transformation, I worry for them. I really do. They need to be thinking more about, you've got people in the office manual inputting data in, you've got people, they've got a device in the corner printing the documents out. It's how exactly we can bring it all together, hence the reason why we created the digital team in the first place.
One of our bigger corporates was in yesterday, and they've set up a task force, a digital transformation task force to go around all of the sites.
How many's in a team?
Their team, or the task force team,
Well, in the task force team.
6 to 8
Yeah,
people.
it's normal.
It's a big number, and again, it's not so much about saving money, it's just about efficiencies. They're quite happy spending the money they're spending now, but want to transfer some of that print money into automating, making life easy, because it means they can grow.
And also, the other thing as well we need to consider now is, because mental health, for example, is in everybody's face, no matter where you are in the world now, it's making people happy. It's making people want to come to work the next day.
Who's makes you a little bit happy?
Yeah, everybody drinks, right? Nobody drinks. We love a drink, but nobody drinks.
Cheers, Neil.
Yeah.
We know.
So what do you think's next for us?
Well, I think it's to do with digital forms. We're doing a lot more work with digital forms. And that is something that,
Well, can you expand a little? What do you mean?
well, obviously we had printing for years, everyone knows
Yeah.
about printing and scanning and things like that. And then we've had document storage, so storing documents electronically. Then it's moved on to, well, that was the old archive stuff, let's have a look at the live documents.
Yeah.
But they were talking about paper. Now it's talking about getting rid of paper and having tablets and saying, well, like my customer, when they've got like HR users, they was filling it all in paper. By the time the paper got to the HR office, it was like 2 weeks later. Well, if they'd
He's already got all day.
well, no, if they fell off a ladder or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's already gone.
Who said he could climb the ladder? He hadn't filled out the form,
Yeah.
it ticked the right box. Whereas now, they just sign it in on the reception.
That's key, actually, real time stuff.
Yeah, it's straight back into HR. It's miles easier for HR because they're not having to type it back in. So it saves time for everyone, and it's like I say, it's more efficient.
But if there's physical stuff that still needs an old-fashioned wet signature,
Yeah, but then
that's where the scanning element comes in, isn't it?
But even them, they're taking the tablets out, aren't they, and signing on the glass. So there's stuff we
When you
can do
say
with that.
sign on glass, you mean
Sign on the tablet, here's your iPad, sign
on
in.
a tablet.
Yeah.
Well, the one had a delivery where you had to like.
Oh, we all have. Yeah, we all have them.
So it's like
It's everything now. I think from my side of things, I think there's so many people. We all agree. I think that people and businesses are sometimes afraid to change. You know, you can see a decent business, they're earning good money, what they're doing is right. Why do we need to change anything?
Yeah.
But there's so many areas, and people think can't be doing with the upheaval, can't be doing with the change, can't be doing with this. It's going to change all the way we
Why
work.
do you think that is?
I just do, and just from previous experience and things like that. I just
Nobody
think,
likes change.
no, they don't. And you say, oh, we've got
Nobody
a bit of the old
likes
generation that
change.
working admin, working HR, working finance. Oh, better work like that, you know. But I think that it isn't a massive change.
I think COVID's forced people to think different.
I was going to say that COVID, like, it has changed overnight, so you don't have a choice.
When that first happened, and you know, we're all thinking it was.
We've never
We
done
thought
a
we were going to be off for a week.
Yeah.
But when it all happened, and it's getting to 4 weeks to 6 weeks, no one in offices, people, you know, it wasn't a thing where you could just pass an invoice on to your co-worker next to you. You think, well, she lives 10 miles away. How am I getting all
People
this?
rocking up to work, taking a folder
home, then driving physically, 20 miles to somebody else's house to do the next part of the workflow to be able to get paid.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. COVID probably helped it and made people actually think, is there a better way that we can do
But it's
this?
funny actually because Ken, our chairman, said something to me 6 months ago. I think he'd been speaking to somebody. One of the best phrases I had is like, actually, these people now who are sat there who've been manual inputting data, certainly from like purchase invoices, for example. And the best way to explain it is these owners are paying people to give their money away.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So really, you've got people sat there, haven't you? Got people manually putting data from the purchase invoices that are actually coming in, whether it's electronically or whether it's as a hard copy, and they're thinking, right, I'm going to put all this now on our account system, or like our ERP or something like that. They're actually paying them. Well, literally, so once it's on there, it just seems a bit.
Long-winded.
Hell yeah.
Anyone who says they've got.
Say again.
Oh yeah, love one.
I'm alright for now.
I have You're in top.
Two Guinness tops.
Thank you.
Two Guinness, a Carlin top.
Pete, our landlord, by the way. Say hello, Pete.
Hey, Pete.
How did you know you were going to say that?
Yeah.
Do you want one back?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
you
might as
And
well.
one of them madries that makes your legs go funny.
To be fair, I think you're just soft because I'm getting on alright with it, to be fair.
So how do you make the... How do we,
You haven't stood up yet.
how do we educate the customers, you think? Better.
Well, that's what.
That gets through to them. Because let's be honest with you, very few of them read the stuff that we actually...
No,
That's our
and
job,
that,
isn't
it is, and that it's our job to be able to speak to customers. And I think reassurance is a big thing. You know, people think, you know, I read an article yesterday, and well, not an article, a post on social media, and a couple of friends of mine own a company that go out and basically they're a maintenance company, but they have all aspects of tradesmen working within the company.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if you want an extension done or something like that, you employ that company to do your extension. You know, they provide the electricians, the plumbers, the sort everything
facilities
out.
management.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I saw a post on social media yesterday regarding a family who had been putting off doing an extension on their house because they was frightened to death of the upheaval and frightened to death of how long it was going to take, frightened to death of not having a kitchen for however long and not having a washing machine and all that. And they employed this company to come and do everything for them. And they said it was seamless, you know. They wished they'd done it 3 years earlier because they were so frightened to press the button to go. They knew they needed to do it. They knew they needed to do some change. Thank you. The family was growing, etc., etc. But I think that's sometimes like our customers. They know.
Well, we wouldn't ask the customer to do anything we wouldn't do.
No, exactly.
Absolutely.
And you're so right.
Yes.
And that's the key thing.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah,
I don't think we sell, we just talk to people.
It's advice, isn't
And
it?
give
It's
advice.
That's the bottom line.
That's it. You give
You
advice.
go and speak to someone and give them secondary advice. You know, it might be that we come in and speak to you and say, "Do you know what? The way you're doing everything is really good," and that's, you know,
It's like a free audit.
of course, you know, we'll come in, we'll speak to you, and everything you're doing is really good. I don't think you need to change anything. But there's other people we can just advise you. You know,
It's important, that is, actually, I think. And people, and I suppose really from our three perspectives, certainly, and now I'd like to see your life, whereas the reason we've been at Spectrum for so long, as an organisation, is we can all sleep at night, knowing full well that what we're actually giving the customer is best for them, but also I'm more than happy, and I can speak on probably your behalf as well, that literally we're quite happy to walk away.
Correct.
And I'd give them advice. Listen, if you can't, all I want to do basically is ensure by in this conversation you feel comfortable with the people to deal with. If you've got no problems at all, I've actually encouraged people to say, do you know what? Stay as you are.
Stay as you are.
Because it never goes against you.
No.
And then what happens, you see, if anything ever does go wrong with that company, they're the very first people they come to.
there's
They
so
trust
many
you.
there's so many people out there who will try and sell something
Yeah,
for the
push
sake
it-
of selling
push it
something.
onto someone.
Again, I'm going back to it again. I read something on Twitter the other day.
I love social media.
I love Twitter.
Yeah.
But a company had been down, so a woman had a detached house with all leaves and water and stuff, a blockage within all the guttering.
Yeah.
So a company had come down, she whatever, yellow pad, I don't know, she got these people, but they'd come down and quoted her to replace all the guttering, it was all blocked. And a recommended person from a friend had been round, and all it was a blockage in the pipe.
Yeah.
Which
Move the leaves.
18 quid.
Really?
So people are out there thinking, you know,
Chasers just trying
Plus,
to
yeah, you
chase
know,
in the round. But then that's why they don't get repeat business.
yeah, 100%. And I think I'd like to think that we're good people, and we give the advice out that's right. And I've been in numerous situations where I've gone in to see people and said, the way you're doing it's all right.
However,
Talking about bad advice.
we're not the cheapest,
No,
and we make no apologies
Yeah,
for that because
But this is the thing.
you've got to pay proper money to get a proper job done.
It's where people go wrong.
One of the
That's it, buy cheap, you buy twice.
one of the campus kids. They've got a car, relatively
You
cheap.
stop calling them kids.
Sorry,
I know what you mean.
but they've got
And
cheap
crash
deal
it,
on a car. Been getting it serviced every 6 months or whatever. She's taking it to a different garage.
Yeah.
They've said really they haven't actually been servicing it. They've just been resetting the meters. They haven't fitted any parts. So they've been telling her, oh yeah, you're doing all the service, replacing the oil filter, replacing all this stuff. haven't been doing it, just been resetting the meters. But it's cheap, isn't it?
I bet that goes on in the copy again, no question.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
No question.
There's always a cheaper alternative.
Well, you've been on the other side of the fence, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know you can reset stuff and
Yeah. There's ways
tell
of
it it's a
making
new
it.
drum.
There's easy ways of making it cheaper, but you know you're building in problems. So if you do it too cheap, it just goes wrong with it. It's all right for 6 months, isn't it? It works for a bit and it looks all right.
Yeah.
And then it's later on down the line that's when you start having all the issues.
The other frustration, I say, but once again, speaking on all behalves, is like when we get the phone calls, when we get the leads coming through and people inquiring, you get the people who just says, I know I want, and you're thinking, right, that's great. And they seem to take the ump when actually you try to help them by saying, let me come and understand where the machine is, what you're doing in the office, why. And that's because legacy from previous other people out there, that's all they've done, basically, just give them what they want. And it's all gone wrong. And when it's all gone wrong, and this is why most of them you see only renew 3-year deals, for example.
I think it's like a
Correct, because it always goes wrong.
Well, really,
it doesn't.
You need it designed, you need advice.
Yeah.
Do you want one of those circular things? Do you want it to pull out like this? I don't know. They don't know about it, do they?
But I don't think anyone in the world, when inquiring about a new kitchen, would ring a kitchen company up and say, I just want a price for a kitchen.
No.
Let me come out and understand.
See it.
Yeah.
And the wife's excited. They want to come and see. They want to tell all the amazing things.
It's obvious, isn't it?
Of course it is. A car. I just want a car with 4 wheels. Well, there's all different. Well, I tell you what, I'll go and look at a car. Cause car's sexy, or things like that. Like Lee referred to earlier on.
It's the same thing.
People just think it's someone that sits in the corner. It'll print documents.
However, when it goes wrong,
Correct.
and it's, I think you'd said before, Ed, when it came to schools, it was the thing that was touched most by every single member of
every
staff.
member of
What
staff.
was that? The copy?
Yeah, the machine.
Yeah.
I said that.
Yeah.
I was having the same conversation
Yeah.
this week. Someone said, really, would you buy something for all your staff that you use every single day of
Without looking at
the
it.
year without looking at it? No, I wouldn't.
Necessary evil.
Yeah.
It's a necessary evil.
But these ones that we've talked about before, they're ones that say, no, I just want a price. They get bad machines after bad machines after bad machines. And
Because
they
they
just
don't know
expect
any
I think it's normal.
They don't know any
Pick it off a catalogue.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you can
doing
do
it,
it
you're
miles
doing it
better.
again.
They don't know
Yeah.
better. But it is cheap.
And they're the ones that will turn around and say, we need an extra one in case that one breaks. The amount of times I've been into education appointments and they've got 4 machines. So why have you got 4 machines? Well, we have 2 down there in case that one breaks. We don't have 2 cars
Because
in
I think it's
driving in case one
normal.
doesn't start. It's
Well,
not, yeah.
Sophia and I went to
You do if you got a Range Rover.
Ranger. Do you want to buy a Range Rover?
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Sophia and I went to an appointment a couple of weeks back in Leeds, and we just said to him, stay, honestly, stay with who you are. I thought to myself we could do something like a little bit better, but no, it's just. But the thing is, I was happy. I left there thinking, and I had to educate Sophia, just saying, Sophia was disappointed, saying, Sophia, it's all right.
Yeah.
We've said to him, honestly, I would honestly stay where you are, but if you want to speak to us in the future, blah, blah, and the guy's got in touch with us, again, because literally we were just decent people, honest, trustworthy. We've all reputations, that's why we're here now. Here we are today, in the suit. How many people coming here? 100, 200, 300 people?
Yeah.
We can all walk the streets
Yeah.
thinking,
And a lot more customers.
And that's it.
And the thing is, and a lot of them are tradesmen. And a lot of them, I would say, who do you use as sparky? Who do you use as plumber? Who do you use for gutters? You've sorted us out with a roof guy, didn't you?
And we all have our circle of friends, and we all are in WhatsApp groups for whatever, golf or
You're not,
whatever.
yeah.
No.
you're not cycling on to Strava.
Strava
Hey,
boy.
but
If you want a carpet, I've got mates, don't you?
you will always go to and say, I need this doing, boys. Anyone know anyone?
Correct, that's my
And
first
if you,
photo call.
of course. And if your pal comes back and says, him is really good, just come and sort it. I'm not going and getting 4 other people involved. I trust him. I know he's going to do a job and he's been recommended to me. So,
Well, that's how ours has grown organically. over the
100%.
years.
Yeah.
People thinking,
I
he's
think
all right.
It's also growing more now we've got the building that everyone knows where we are.
Yeah.
I think before it was hidden, wasn't we? It was like a little secret.
Yeah.
Now they know where we are and know what we're doing. We get more.
Well, that's why we're doing stuff like this.
Clients need to come in more, I think. Now we're starting to come off the back end of the COVID, we need to encourage people to come in, because once customers come in, they then don't want to leave. you think, wow, is this really what you do?
Yeah.
But once again, it's overcoming that barrier of thinking, so these just and some of our larger clients as well, and we've got 4 or 5 like £1 billion plus tenor clients.
They came in from Birmingham yesterday.
Yeah.
For the review.
That's another challenge. Well, it's educating some of them as well to think, do you know what? We've not just provided your print, your copiers, your managed print service, but it's also, have you thought about doing it this way? Looking at your data now, exactly you're handling your data, what you're doing with it.
And everything that we talk to customers about when we go and see customers, we do internally anyway. So, we're practicing what we preach.
Yeah.
If anyone comes in and says, talk to me how you seeing your data in real time, talk to me how you're automating your finances, and we can show you. There's our finance department. Go and talk to them, go and see how they're working, go and have a look at how you're analysing your data and all these different things. It's all there to see.
What gets you out of bed every morning, Az?
The alarm.
Laura, probably.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. So pedantic. What gets me out of bed every morning? Loads of things. I enjoy my job. No days.
Nice kids out. Nice
Yeah,
kids.
and listen, I work with numerous people. I've got pals in there that are my good pals out of work, and we socialise, we play golf together. It's a good place to work. But no day is ever the same. I look at some jobs that some people do and they love it. For me, I like to be out. I like to be talking to people. Yeah, I like different days being
That
different.
does count for a lot, doesn't it?
I
just could do a job
for
where
me,
you
I
have to,
couldn't be.
you have to go to the same place, start now, finish
You
at
do a
5.
bit at home, you do
Yeah.
a bit in the office. It's interactive.
Yeah.
Exactly, and
We help each other. There's
we
no
do,
backstabbing.
and that's it.
And you can plan your own diary as well. You're not like thinking, every Monday I have to do that, every Tuesday I have to do that. It's like, you just,
And if your kids need picking up from school on the odd day and stuff like that,
I
there's the
think,
flexibility. Just
of course, and I think we are
do the right thing.
fortunate that we work for a company where there is things like that. You need to do this, you just go and do it. As long as it's just good. But yeah, I enjoy my job. I like it. And
I like speaking to customers and speaking to different people. Like I say, it's different every day, isn't it? So you learn stuff as well.
I like to think as if I've made a difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I always say this to people when I'm out and about, just subconsciously, I think the beauty about our business, our industry, is that we can talk, or I don't like to use the word sell, but we can provide to anybody.
Yeah, the best thing for me is when you've delivered a real good solution and everyone's happy and it's like it's done what we said it was going to do from day one.
Yeah,
so when you first knock on the door and say, "No, we can help you," and then you've proved it, haven't you?
Well, the customer was in our place yesterday. He got his job on the back of a testimonial that we'd done a massive rollout with his previous company, and he said, "This is the kind of work that I do." And it was us that had delivered it for him. And then when he went 2 years down track, he's saying, "I need to do the same again."
Yeah.
So
And that's the thing. I like it when
people.
customers move as well.
Yeah, and a team we've got
They
at the
do ring
moment,
us, don't they?
and I'm sure you've probably seen the longest time.
I love it when people leave.
I challenge you to find a better position when we're in the metal business. The people we've got are phenomenal. Teams we've got, the people in charge of the teams. It's definitely the happiest I've ever experienced the business.
I agree, and I've
really good people, support, the digital team, professional services,
I mean, you
finance.
you've all been there, a lot longer than me. But even in the 10 years, when I look back at my day-to-day, what I used to do day-to-day in 2012, 13, 14, compared to what I do day-to-day 2021, you were miles apart. In the way that, I don't know, you seem to be running around like an headless chicken. And
What, in the old days?
yeah, I need to be here, and you're doing 4 or 5 appointments a day and things like that. And you don't need to do that. And I feel in myself, all right, you're more experienced and you're doing the job better and you know the job a lot better. But I feel far more relaxed in myself and far more energised. And
Is that because of the technology internally, or your mindset?
well, I
generally?
think we used to do everything ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah,
So we was doing account reviews and stuff like that. You was doing all
The Rolodex, they have a computer.
I mean, I'm not that
He's
old.
not that far back.
I would start school great. Well, thanks for today, gents. I think it's told you we could talk. There's nothing to be worried about. That's the end of our first TWT After Hours podcast, or whatever you want to call it. If you all like it, please subscribe. If any of you got any questions or any thoughts towards what we've done today, if you want to ask any questions for the next one, please feel free. And we'll see you soon for episode 2. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
I thought it was alright.
It's the boys.